All right, guys, here we go. We're going to take a ride on the train to Living History Days.
Bye, Dave.
Good to see you. Well, hello there, Tom.
Dave, how are you today?
I'm good. I see we're going to get to learn about the post office.
Welcome to the Marshfield Post Office. We're so glad you're here. You got a letter to mail?
I got a letter, and
Right.
at my house, I put it in a mailbox like this.
All right.
Should I put it in here now?
You can do that or mail it in here, whichever you want to do.
I'll put that there, and I put the flag up so the mailman knows to get it. But I want to go inside and see what happens inside the post office. Why don't you guys come with me?
Come right on in, Dave.
Here we are inside the post office, Tom, and outside there's a mailbox, kind of like the mailbox at my house, and maybe your house, maybe the mailbox you guys have at your houses. But there's other kinds of mailboxes, aren't there?
Absolutely, Dave. Absolutely. When you come to the post office, you're going to see a different type of mailbox that you can put your letters in to send away.
And what kind of box is that?
Well, we've got two kinds here. We've got the slot over here. You can slip one in there for the postmaster to get.
Right there.
If it needs a stamp or something, then they can do that or sell you a stamp. And also, you can put your mail, or the postmaster, when the mail comes in from the other post offices, somebody sends a letter to you, the postmaster's going to get it and stick it in these boxes, and then you're going to come and pick up your mail out of one of these little boxes here.
Okay, so you used a couple of words there that I'm not sure that all of us know what they mean. What is a postmaster?
Postmaster or postmistress, I should have said also, Dave, would be the man or the lady in charge of the post office.
And
they have mail carriers, but the postmaster or the postmistress would be the one that would be what we would refer to as the boss, possibly be in charge of the post office itself.
So there's somebody in the office that runs the whole thing.
Yes.
And then they give the mail to the mail carrier who brings it to my house.
And puts it in the mailbox.
Okay.
Rural carrier, rural mail carrier, RFD.
But if I had a mailbox in here, what is this kind of a box
Well,
called?
they would assign numbers to you, and then you would keep your track of that, and that way when you come in to get your mail, these all have combinations, so everybody can't access your mailbox, Dave. And you would use your little combination here to open up and get your mail that way.
Kind of like if you have a locker at school, it's like a locker for your letters.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't have your boxes here available to everybody coming in the post office. They still have their own little lock.
Okay, so I want to try this and see how it works.
All right.
We printed these things over at the print shop about History Days, and I want to try mailing one to myself.
Wonderful.
Can I do?
Wonderful.
So what do I need to put on here?
You will need to put your address, your name, and your address.
Okay, so I'm going to put Dave, and I'm going to use P.O. Box, Post Office Box, number 9.
And be sure to put
Marshfield, right?
Marshfield, Indiana.
And is there a zip code?
47993.
47993. So knowing my address tells me where the letter's going to go.
Oh, absolutely.
In this case, I'm going to mail it to myself,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird, but I just want to see how this works.
And you put it in the slot, and I am acting postmaster today, and I will receive it, and then I'll put it in your box.
Now, does it need anything else besides the address?
You would need a stamp.
Now, what's
you
the
would need a
stamp?
stamp, and probably in this time when the post office originated in Marshfield was 1857. Now this naturally is not the original building, but this is the last original building that was used as a post office in Marshfield, and these are the original mailbox out of that post office, so we're very fortunate to have that. But back then in the mid 1800s, a stamp would probably cost you 1 penny.
Okay, and
Yeah.
now I think
Today it's
stamp,
like 50 cents. 50 cents.
And so when I spend the 50 cents to put the stamp on, what does that money go for?
That would go to the U.S. Postal Service in Washington, D.C.
And does that maybe help pay the people that deliver the mail?
Absolutely. That would pay your carriers and the postmasters. It would pay for the buildings, pay for the upkeep.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes 50 cents sound pretty cheap.
As you realize today, a lot of the larger cities would have as many as maybe 20 to 50 to 100 little mail cars. I'm sure the boys and girls have seen these little mail cars that they deliver the mail with, and that would help pay for those too, to purchase those cars.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, here we go. I've got my piece of mail. I've got my address on it. I'm going to turn it into the box.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
And I will receive it here. And I read on here the name. Oh my goodness. Dave Sims, P.O. Box 9, Marshfield, Indiana. And I will put it in the corresponding box here, number 9. And now you're ready to receive your mail.
And meanwhile, I'm thinking, I wonder if I've got any mail today. Well, let's go check and see.
Absolutely.
I put in my combination, and I open the door. And
Oh,
hey,
you got
look
mail.
at there.
You got mail.
I got a piece of mail that
All
tells
right.
me all about History Days here at Illiana.
And just stop and think a minute how exciting that would have been back then to receive any correspondence by mail.
Yeah.
Because that's before telephones, Dave, before this type of a phone also.
This is kind of like a text message on your phone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if I wanted to send this to, say, I have a sister and she lives in Tennessee, that's like 8 hours away from here. But I could just put her name on here and her address.
Absolutely.
And for the same 50 cents, I could drop it in and it would go to her.
And it would eventually get to her in approximately 2 to 3 days' time. Yes. And that would be very exciting to receive a piece of mail, correspondence from anyone. Yes. That was the only way of communication years ago, was by mail. Or go to your local grocery store, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I want to give you guys out there a challenge. Maybe talk with your teacher. Maybe she could get you an envelope. Maybe you could write a note to somebody that you know, maybe a friend, maybe a family member, a grandparent or something, and send them a piece of mail and see if maybe they write something back and send it back to you. That would be kind of a neat thing to try doing.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
Now,
showing me the post office.
Thank you for coming today. We're so glad to have you. This post office building was last used in 1987 is when it closed down.
That's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a great time. We had today at Living History Days. I'm so glad you came on this trip with us. I hope you learned some things today. I hope it was a lot of fun. I hope you'll come back and see us again sometime. And maybe someday you could come out here in person and get to ride the train and see some of the very neat things we've gotten to share with you. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you.